Helen here at Team Alpha Male, being joined by the one and only, the man of the hour, UFC Hall of Famer, Mr. Urijah Faber. Great to see you, especially here at your gym.
Yeah, this is the Mecca out here in NorCal. We're kicking butt, taking names, and I'm glad you guys got to be in today.
Yeah, and also Cali, we saw her up front. She even gave us a tour of the gym and upstairs in her Cali acai.
Yeah, Callie's she's a workhorse. She likes to get up in the morning and ask me daily if she can come to work, and so she's got a little regimen she does at the front desk, and she greets and says hello and goodbye to the folks and whatever else is needed. 4 years old, she's got to earn her keep around the house, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I can't believe she's already 4. Where's time gone?
It's crazy. It's flown by. And my son, Mr. Chill Rome, he's back home holding down the fort. Yeah, seems like yesterday where they were just babies.
Yeah, and they're good swimmers too.
Oh yeah. You know, it takes one to know one. Yeah, they swim pretty much every day.
Yeah, that's great. But we are here at the gym. You're staying busy. I mean, training nonstop, and you have a lot of fighters fighting pretty soon. I just spoke to Xiaonan, just interviewed her in Mandarin, and she told me she's hoping with the win over Jessica Andrade next weekend, hopefully we'll see her fight for that title.
Yeah, I mean, she's a champion in my mind. She's a person that puts in the work. She has the natural gift. She has the fighting spirit. She's been really intelligent over the last 2 years about filling in the blanks. So I think that we saw, she suffered a loss that was kind of eye-opening for her, and champions bounce back from that, and she's done that.
And also this weekend, headlining at the UFC Apex, we have Song Yadong fighting Ricky Simone. What can fans expect from him?
Man, Song is another one that is a world-class athlete whose training regimen is impressive. He's constantly filling his cup with new knowledge, really coming to his own, finding his style to round out his whole MMA game, and we're expecting a big win, especially with 5 rounds. I think over time the better fighter will prevail, and I think Song is going to slowly pull away as the fight gets further along.
And looking at that bantamweight division, I mean, it's stacked. And we know next weekend the huge fight and the return of Henry Cejudo. He's fighting Aljamain Sterling. Who do you think wins that next weekend?
Man, there's no qualms about it. Cejudo's literally one of the best combat athletes of all time. From what he's done Olympically, his MMA prowess, the guys he's beat at the times he's done it, says a lot. I don't think there's going to be ring rust. The one thing I think will be an issue is the reach for Cejudo, and probably a little bit of a size advantage for Aljo, but Henry's always been against that, so it could be anyone's fight. I think the more dangerous fighter, I would say, is probably Cejudo, but I'm going to give a slight advantage, I think, to Aljo, just because he's so awkward. I don't think he's a guy that has a lot of people that can emulate his style.
But if Henry does beat Aljo and pull that off, we know he's returning. He wants to chase the featherweight gold. Would you like to see that if he gets the job done next weekend?
I think let that guy do whatever he wants. I mean, he has earned the respect of the world, and with a win over Aljamain, who's actually probably a 145-pounder, walking around in the off-season, he's about the same size as everyone else at the division. That says a lot, and I think, Cejudo's wrestling prowess and his ability to close gaps would be an exciting fight at 145.
And on the flip side, if Aljamain beats Henry and, with all the accolades that Henry's achieved, where does that put Aljamain in, the bantamweight champion, historically?
Yeah, I think he's a little under-celebrated, and again, he's beat some killers in there. I think it's just going to add more clout to his name. Obviously, taking out a guy like Henry, Aljo will get his first Olympic belt, or his Olympic gold medal. That'd be nice. And I'd like to see if he wants to maybe go up, because I think he's a guy that carries the weight really well and could easily bulk up.
Now, someone else that you're training that's fighting coming up as well, Chad Mendes, BKFC. He's fighting Eddie Alvarez. How's he looking?
Man, Chad is is an athlete amongst athletes. He's strong and fast. He's excited for this fight. Eddie Alvarez is a beast. He's one of the most, I think, probably instinctually best guys for the bare knuckle style. He just likes to brawl and likes to have dirty fights, etc. But Chad is like literally touching stone. If there's one person I would not want to hit with no gloves on, it's Chad Mendes. He used to knock guys out on accident when they butt heads in wrestling, and his shoulder feels like his skull. I mean, he's literally made of stone. So, I'm going with Chad on this one.
Yeah, and we all saw, because the Schmo and I were there in person for his BKFC debut. He looks pretty good out there.
Yeah, and a guy who knows how to train, who's a student of all martial arts, being able to just focus on the sweet science. He's made huge improvements on his boxing just because that's a singular focus. And I would love to see Chad come back to MMA, to be honest. But he's kicking butt in business and enjoying being a father and being a hunter and living the dream. So I don't blame him for continuing down that path.
And lastly, in that main event, Mike Perry and Luke Rockhold, who do you favor in that?
Man, Perry is a wild man, but Luke has all the gifts. He was gifted with athleticism and good looks and a mean streak and a little chip on his shoulder. I think he's going to use that distance and maybe run away pretty early in the fight.
And for all your fans who can't wait to see more from you, what would you like to let them know?
We've got our A1 combat fights at the end of this month. On Friday, the day before Song's fight, we're going to be fighting at the Tachi Palace with a whole lineup of fights coming after that. So keep an eye out for that. I'd love to do some more combat jiu-jitsu. I had so much fun doing combat jiu-jitsu. I like to hold some of my own events. I feel like combat jiu-jitsu is kind of the new wave of the grappling world because it's so focused on, the real life use of grappling, which is a self-defense and a offensive sport if you do it right.